Okay, John Oakes here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location. And today we've got another addition to our inventory here we're going to go over with you folks today on camera. This is a 1966 Ford Mustang GT convertible. This one here is done in this real nice color here. It's Nightmist blue, kind of a darker blue, but it looks really nice on this particular car. We'll go over it, show you everything that we have here and talk a little bit about it, and then we'll go from there. But anyways, our car here, as you can see right from the get-go, the hood on it, it's not your typical hood. It is a fiberglass hood. We will go underneath the hood here after a bit, but you can see the scoops on it, and it does have a 408 stroker badge on it on both sides. Now that is exactly what's underneath the hood, and we'll get to that here a little bit later. Other than that though, pretty much the looks of the car remains factory stock appearing, a little bit different wheels, but you'll notice all of the bright work, all of the chrome on this car, the bumpers, all the little bit of trim that you do have on the car is in very nice shape. It does retain the 289 front fender emblems, but that is not what's in this car though. Again, it does have the GT emblems too. That does actually signify one of the options on the car. For wheels and tires, you can see they went with the classic looking Cragar SS chrome mag wheels. They went with 14s on the front, 15s on the back, and you can view our description to kind of see the tire sizes. They are BFGoodrich Radial TAs though the whole way around. You can see it's got the white lower body stripe on the car. Again, that's vinyl. It's in good condition. You can see the door gaps here. Elevations are dead on this side here. As we look down the side, all of our body lines all line up again. As far as our glass goes, the glass is in great condition on this car too. Again, the bright work, the trim all the way around the windows in good shape, and we've got our mirror up here too. We'll open up our door, take a quick peek inside. Again, it's got the white interior in it, front bucket seats, factory dash, all the factory gauges. It does have an aftermarket tack in it there. Does have the AM/FM CD player in it also, and a B&M automatic floor shifter. But again, blue carpeting, white vinyl interior, door panels and so forth. Actually doesn't look too bad. The wood grain steering wheel in there too, real nice looking piece there also. We'll close this up. Again, the door closes nice and easy. And again, this is a convertible. It's got the white convertible top on it. Now, as we look at our top as you go around the car, you will notice a few wrinkles in it here. Again, this top has been down for several hours, and we've been doing the photo shoot and video here of the car with the top down. Of course, they will wrinkle a little bit, but when they're out in the sun for a while, those will help those wrinkles relax a lot on the car. Even the rear window here being the plastic, it will do the same thing. It'll relax a lot as you have it out in the warm sun. As we come around the back of the car here, the trunk, this is your steel trunk lid here. Again, fitment on that is real nice. Your gaps and elevations the whole way around on that, really nice. The chrome rear bumper's in good shape. Of course, you've got your Ford GT gas cap there. And then in your lower valance, your backup lights are down here. Lenses and bezels are in good shape there. And then you see the exhaust here. You've got this slash cut chrome exhaust tip poking through the rear valance there, just as it should. Again, looks real good. Now we're going to go ahead and open our trunk up. Take a quick peek inside. Just going to get the key in there the right way. There we go. So the trunk lock does work. The hinges and the spring, that all works too. The underside of the trunk painted the same color as the exterior of the car. And as you can see, we've got a spare tire in here. Looks to be a full size with a trunk mat. And again, the trunk floors in these cars, no real need of looking at them too in depth. Again, your fuel tank takes up the majority of the trunk as they fit down in from the top side, and that's what makes up your trunk floor for the most part. But again, all your weather stripping the whole way around the trunk, that's in good shape. Meets right together here in the middle. It's nice and soft the whole way around, so should keep your trunk nice and dry in here. We'll close that. We'll walk around the rest of the car now. Again, now on our passenger side, kind of the same thing as we look down the side. The side's nice and straight. Elevations of the doors dead on, and body lines all line up on this car. Again, we've already said about the convertible top. As far as the stitching and any of the seams and so forth, this thing's in great shape. There's no rips or tears. There's no fraying of any of the seams either. It's in really good condition. As we come up here, we're going to open up our passenger side door. Take a look at the interior from this side. You've got front and rear seat belts in here as well. So you're going to be good and safe in the car. Again, nice comfortable feeling interior in this car, and it looks good for its age. All your weather stripping, all of that looks good around all the windows. Again, trim work, glass, mirror on this side, again all in good condition. And again, you see the condition of the wheels. Wheels look brand new on this car, and then the tires of course on there too. As we come around the front, you're going to see this is your typical GT front end for this car. You've got your driving or your fog lights right up here. Chrome bumper, nice there. Also, lower valance is in good shape too. Of course, you have your parking lamps down underneath there. The headlights are your traditional sealed beam units, so your highs and lows all in one unit. Glass lenses, and those lenses are in good shape. There's no cracks or chips in any of that. Now again, we did mention that this is a fiberglass hood. These are functional hood pins here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and remove these, because again, we want to open this up and show you what we have underneath here. Now, with this being a fiberglass hood, we want to go over a couple things with you. Typically, what people will do is they'll make a prop rod for it to hold it up, because with fiberglass hoods, you always use a real light hood spring on these so it doesn't buckle the hood. And that's exactly the case here. So, fiberglass hood, light hood springs, you have to kind of hold the hood up on, yourself unless you had a prop rod. So with the hood up, we're going to go ahead and discuss some of the things that we have underneath here. First off, you've got a motor under here that is not a 289 cubic inch motor. Instead, this is a 351 Windsor block, but it's been bored and stroked to a 408 cubic inch stroker motor. You see it's got the chrome air cleaner on top. It's got a set of Ford Racing valve covers on it. That does have the breather and the PCV valve in it as well. Edelbrock aluminum intake on it, along with an Edelbrock 1406 carb, which I believe is a 600 CFM carburetor. They have upgraded the ignition system also. We've got full MSD, so it's MSD Distributor, MSD 6AL ignition box, and an MSD Blaster 2 coil underneath here. Electric choke on the carburetor, so that's going to help you on your initial starts. You've got an aluminum Fluidyne radiator, so that's just a name brand, Fluidyne. It's in good condition. An electric cooling fan on here also. You'll also notice it's got an aftermarket AC unit on it, which is all hooked up here. All nice pulleys. It's got your groove pulleys instead of like your V-belt pulleys on it. It's a power brake car. Again, it's a four-wheel disc brake car, and it's a power steering car as well. All of your hoses and lines look to be in good order and nice and dry around all of your fittings. As far as your plug wires, you can see that they've been upgraded to a set of Ford Racing plug wires. And you also see a little bit of touch up, or dress up in here, I should say. We've got the chrome fender braces, chrome strut braces in there also, and that's all helping to keep the front suspension on this car good and taut the whole way forever for your drive. Red top Optima battery in here also, and as always, we normally put these the battery disconnects on these for just because they don't normally get driven a lot, so we put those on. That way you unhook the battery when you're not driving it. As I mentioned, the hood pins, those are functional. They are going to hold that hood down for you. That's pretty much it though as far as the engine goes. Now, this engine, it is coupled up to a Ford FMX automatic overdrive transmission, which then in turn is tied up to a Ford 8-inch rear end in this car. I believe the gearing on this was a 280 gear also. So that's pretty much your drive line. again, the overall of the car does retain its build tag on the fender, but again, engine is not going to be what it calls out for, as this has been swapped. So that's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and close this up now. We've got our 1966 Ford Mustang GT convertible here on the lift, so we're going to go through everything as we do with all of our cars on the underside here, show you exactly what's underneath here for a drive line, for the sheet metal as far as the floors go, suspension, steering, all that stuff. So starting up front, you're going to see we have just your typical front suspension for a Mustang, lower control arms, upper A arms, all of your ball joints are all in good condition. We do have a front sway bar here. All of your bushings, your frame mount bushings, as well as your sway bar end links and bushings are all in great shape. Looks like we've got urethane bushings on all of those. Steering components, again, factory stuff here. We do have your typical power steering here on a Mustang. Again, all your ball joints on your tie rods, all in good shape. Rubber dust boots are all intact. And you can tell everything's been greased and maintained throughout the life of this car very well. That is your suspension and steering up front. As far as braking up front, power brakes. This car is a four-wheel disc brake car. So it looks like just typical brakes here. Now I do know on the back it's a disc brake kit. There's multiple companies that make them, but you can usually use the brake pads on them to match everything up and find out what exact caliper that they are for those rear brakes. Again, everything I believe has been going through, everything's been freshened up on this car, everything's in good condition. As far as the drive line, starting front to back here, this is, I believe after checking the numbers, I believe it's an 83 351 Ford Windsor block. Now I do know that this motor, it's been bored and stroked. It is now a 408 cubic inch stroker motor. So that's what you have here. You've got this nice deep dual kick oil pan here, and then that's backed up with the FMX automatic overdrive transmission. The transmission mount here is all in great condition. The actual mount itself, the bushing for the tail shaft, that is in good condition too. Of course, we've got our drive shaft back through here. It is a balanced unit, and that's connecting us to the Ford 8-inch rear. Now this rear it is a POSI rear, and it's got a gear in it of a 2.80 to 1 gear ratio. As far as rear suspension, you can see we've got a set of KYB gas adjust shocks back here. We do have a rear sway bar on this car too, and multi-leaf rear suspension. As far as the fuel tank, stock fuel tank, all our fuel lines and our brake lines are run along the bottom here of the car, and they all look to be in good shape. Frame rail sections on this car, very good and square here. You can see those underneath. They are in good shape. Floors also, I don't see any patching or any holes especially in the bottom of this car. It's all solid. You can see all of your stamping lines and all of the floor pans here. So that means it's got all the right style pans in it. There's no flat metal. And like I said, I don't see any patching to speak of whatsoever. The trunk floor, there's really not much to go over there because again, on a Mustang, your fuel tank actually comes in from the top side of the trunk, and that's what makes up a majority of your trunk floor back there. So again, from what we see here, the fuel tank is in good condition. Exhaust system on this car starts up at the front with a set of Shorty ceramic coated headers all the way back here with our dual exhaust here. It's got the nice muffler clamps here. These are a set of, they look like Flowmaster mufflers. I don't see any names on them unless they're turned up on the top side there. But again, they're in good condition. Of course, the correct style tailpipes up over top of the rear end. And then a nice set of chrome exhaust tips poking out through that rear lower balance as they should. As far as wheels and tires in, that's about the only thing left to go over. We do have a set of Cragar SS chrome mag wheels on this car. We've got 14-inch wheels on the front, 15s on the back. Of course, BFGoodrich Radial TA tires front and rear. and those tires are 205/70 R14s on the front and 225/60 R15s on the back of our car. So everything looks good underneath here.